Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Court Farms Country Park. This is episode 48 of the Let's Play series. Hope you're all doing very well and having a nice day. Now, this is the 1st of January 2024, so I'd very much like to wish you all a very happy and prosperous and healthy 2024 ahead. Again, I just want to say a massive thank you for all your continued support and wonderful comments that you've given me in my what has been a relatively short YouTube career so far. I think we're around about 10 months now, so come February, in a well, 2 months' time, give or take, I'll be celebrating my first year on YouTube as FARMERSIM. So, yeah, just as always, a massive thank you to all of you. You're all absolutely wonderful. And what is equally as wonderful is this, the Court Farms custom lighting engine. As some of you might be aware, I turned off relight in the last episode just because I felt it was being a bit funny, particularly just with the had this white sheen on the windscreen of this Ford here. Now when I jump into it again now, it all seems relatively clear. I know it's nothing important, it's not game breaking, it's not, you know, it's not that bad at all, but you know, it's these little things that irk me a bit. So I, as I say, I turned off relight, that windscreen sheen seemed to disappear, and then I obviously activated the custom lighting in the advanced settings of the game. And this is something, isn't it? What a sunrise this is. We're now in October, so this is obviously me just topping up the cows with some food. I have had a quick run around a couple of our productions, particularly the clothes production. Now, one of you viewers very kindly noticed, this had slipped my mind completely, I hadn't even noticed it, Ryan Goebel 3049, thank you very much, mate, for picking me up on this. I hadn't actually activated the clothes production factory. Yes, the wool and the fabric was being distributed to it, but it wasn't actually spawning anything. So now I turned that on at the end of September, and obviously went to sleep, woke up this morning, and we have 6 pallets of clothes sat outside our clothing factory. So that's brilliant. The price at the minute isn't exactly what it should be. I think at the most, if we have a quick peek into our menus here, there we go. So clothes at the minute, the top price it looks like we can get is 6,354 quid. Now, using some very basic mathematics, that's more than 36 grand's worth of clothes. But at top dollar, it's 10,281. So that's, you know, on a big quantity of it, that's a decent amount of money. So if we were to wait for April and just had the 6 pallets, we've got 60 grand, over 60 grand's worth of clothes. At the minute, it's just 36. So as much as I would love to have 36 grand in the bank, I think it would be wise of me to let that stack up. So I might have to kind of make a little bit of a pile of somewhere nearby and just let that build up and build up. We do need to top up the wool. There's only about 6,000 litres left in the wool mill itself. We've got just shy of 4 pallets here. There's still only a bit of a pallet over at the other sheep barn. But yeah, I think these guys just produce a lot more because we've pretty much got a full pasture of sheep here. So these guys are, the production rate of the wool is much higher over here, but that's okay for now. So yeah, so as I say, I need to top up the wool mill with the wool. I haven't actually checked on the bakery or anything like that, but we'll crack on with that in a wee while. I'll have a look at that at some point soon. What I have done first thing here today is I have taken on a harvesting contract. It's a sunflower harvesting contract in field 46, which is a pretty big field. We have worked in that one before. I think I have actually done a harvesting contract in that one before, but it's one of the bigger fields. I think it's one of the biggest fields on the map. It's just over there in the distance. So we're going to crack on with that first, because that is paying just under £10,000, 9,700 and something. So that's one. I just couldn't turn it down. There was no way I was going to go miss out on that one. So I think that's what we're going to crack on with first. I did, at the end of the last episode, off camera, I did, regarding the oilseed radish fields, because I haven't done oilseed radish before, and I didn't want there to be any problems or for it to be something that I had caused by not doing it, I did actually roll the fields. I didn't know if I needed to or not. Oh, we've got a few pallets of honey there as well. We can make use of at some point. Now where are we? Where's the one of the oilseed radish fields? I think it's one of these ones down here. So it has. It does look now like it's germinating now. I think it actually says we're ready to harvest. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, ready to harvest. Even though we don't harvest it, that's just ready to be cultivated under, and hopefully top up the soil with a bit of natural fertilizer. But all these 3 fields they were rolled, as I say, off camera. Just because I didn't want to have done something wrong by not rolling them. So yeah, just got that done. So that's all good. So we've got the grass. This grass field here is now ready to go as well, properly in its second growth stage. So that's now ready to be cut and tedded and turned into hay to top up our total for hay. So we've got a little bit to do, a bit to crack on with. But as I say, first and foremost, on this beautiful October's morning, we are going to get right down to a harvesting contract. So I think I need to gather a bit of equipment together. We need to get the corn header, the harvester, and a tractor and trailer over to that field and get cracking. And obviously, as you all know, this is going to go into a bit of a cinematic, a nice early morning sunrise cinematic, it would seem. So I'm going to crack on, and I'll see you all down at the field in a few moments. Right, we'll just pull up on this bit of wasteland here, unfold the header trailer there, get the header hooked up to the harvester. There we go. Right. Something that's just happened that's never really happened with this one before anyway. This header trailer and header has always been pretty reliable, but the header just fell off on the journey here. Never known it to do that before, but I guess it's the first time for everything. Alright, let's get this weapon unfolded. There we go. Now this is quite a big field, isn't it? So it's going to take quite a while. So I feel a good cinematic is in order. Let's drop that down. Turn it on. There we go. Right. Netherlands first, of course. So I shall pick you all back up in a wee while when hopefully we've got a bit more. Well, we'll be about to turn in the contract and yeah, see what we've got from residual crop from this job. So see you all in a wee while. Right, well, that was a big job, but the big job's done, and that is the last of the sunflowers on the way to Longmeadow stores. Now the trailer's 95% full, so we've done all right there. I was worried that the last few litres of grain wouldn't fit in the trailer, but sure enough, we're all right. So all that's left for me to do now is to get this lot tidied up. We need to get the harvester, get the header loaded back onto the trailer, get the harvester and the tractor and header trailer back over to the farm, and once the Renault is tipped at Longmeadow stores and I've established exactly what we've made from this contract before we get paid for it, I'll bring you back in and let you know all that. So let's get tidied up. I'll see you shortly. Back on the farm. Right, okay, we didn't do too bad out of that, if I'm honest. Let's just, we'll pull this up next to the jet washer so we can clean it off at some point soon. It is looking a little bit brown. Let's just turn that off because it is also a noisy thing. So, on top of the 9,795 I think we're going to get for this, we made £4,814 from the extra sunflowers that we got from that contract. So all in all, once we've turned it in, we'll have earned £14,609. So let's do exactly that. Collect. Boom. There we go. So we are now sat at a pretty healthy 60,167 quid. Now that does leave me with the option of having a bit of a go down here in my new little area here that I created in the last episode to put down a couple of buildings. There was a couple of suggestions, one of them being should I put down some kind of animal pasture here, little animal pen, to maybe use as an alternative place for the calves to be. So obviously if I have any calves in the pen here, I can bring them over here and pop them into a pasture here. I did think about that. That was something that crossed my mind, but from the mods that I have, I don't have one that physically fits. I do have Lancy Boy's, again, another one of Lancy Boy's mods. He's done this. It's an English cow shed pack thing, but it's 180 grand, and yeah, that's the only one that would physically fit. But in all honesty, I do quite fancy just doing a bit more organisation of my machinery and tools and stuff. What I quite fancy doing in particular, placing down another one of those sheds there that we've got, not the big one, sorry, it's actually a grain shed, the one that all the implements are currently in at the minute. Putting another one of those down here and using, well, I might keep that one but using one of them as essentially like the combine shed. So I put both the headers in, put the big dominator in here, and also the forage harvester as well. And then also having another shed on the back of it, perhaps like a little drive-in, drive-out shed kind of thing. Because both of the ones that I've got in mind are around about the 20-odd grand mark. So that's what I'm thinking. So anyway, but onwards from that as well, it's something that it briefly crossed my mind, and it was mentioned to me a few episodes ago, again by one of you wonderful viewers, just in respect of the combine. Now, I love this combine. I think it's an absolute beast, and I do honestly feel it is perfect for this map. It's not too small, but it's also not too big, which is something that's very important on this map, as some of you may be aware. Obviously with the narrowness of the lanes and whatnot and the access to the fields, the gates for example, this is a perfect harvester. It just fits through the gates and it pretty much manages the lanes perfectly well, I want to say. Yes, it does, like every combine harvester does, especially using auto drive. When it comes to the corners, it does take corners wide, and regardless of what combine harvester you use, you're always going to come across that problem. But I suppose it was during that sunflower harvest that it just got me to thinking, because the corn header that I do have for this harvester is I think it's the only one that's available for it, I think, and obviously it's the one in the right colour, but it's only 6 meters wide. The capacity isn't too bad. It's got a capacity of 10,000 litres, so it's not too bad. But anyway, my point was, I've just been having a ponder. Do I consider chopping it in for a nice, shiny, new, modern one? Looking at some of the ones that I've got in my mod folder, there's not that many that are small enough to be considered suitable for this map. There's a couple of there's one of the base game ones, a Claas Trion, that's got the tracks as for the front wheels. That looks like it could be okay, but again, it looks a little bit wider. So I suppose it's just a bit more food for thought. I suppose maybe in the future, and it is a massively expensive investment, isn't it? There's no such thing as a cheap harvester, although this one is quite cheap. Anything Claas or Case or John Deere or anything like that, you are looking at, you know, £250,000 and above. If I sold this one, I think it's worth about 80 grand now. Now that I did the fixing of it a couple of episodes ago in the workshop and we reduced the work hours and stuff, the value of it has gone up. So I think it's worth it. In fact, let's just have a quick look, shall we? Let's see what it's worth. Funnily enough, there's one in the sales at 60 grand. Oh, let's get a new harvester. One we already have. Where are we? Right, so harvesters. Yeah, so 50 grand it's worth, just under. So I don't know. Yeah, just a bit of a pondering, that's all. Anyway, right, so I'm going to get this thing cleaned off. We'll get it parked back up in the shed for now. I think what I might do is, in fact, let's just think about this sensibly, shall we? We've got a couple of pallets of honey. I think we've got a few pallets of lettuces. We've got about just under 4 pallets of wool that we need to get shifted over to the mill. Oh no, we've just got just over 4 now. Okay. Right, so I think what I might do is I'm going to load up the flatbed trailer. I shall do another run around of my pallet selling, and I'll take the wool over to the mill first. I'll do that first, because if I put it all on the trailer and then go to a sell point first, the wool will sell. So I think it would be sensible of me to do things in the correct order, save me having to make multiple trips. So yeah, I'll get all this stuff loaded up. And I'll pick you back up in a few moments when the wool's in the wool mill and we've sold what pallets of produce we can sell, just to increase a bit of the bank balance again. And there we go. And yeah, and then I might have a bit of a go in the construction menu, see what we can do in respect of placing down a shed or two. So see you all very shortly. Right, well, that's all the wool dropped into the wool mill, and I'm actually just making my way around here via my newly created little access path there, over to the garden centre. And as you can see, I have decided to put the 6 pallets of clothes that we had at the clothes shop, as it were, the clothes mill, onto the trailer, purely because I'm going to be doing a bit of construction shortly. And all of those clothes will pretty much pay for one of the workshops that I want to put down, one of the sheds. So I'm not too bothered. It is what it is. It's extra money at the end of the day. And as you can see, obviously I've loaded up all the lettuce, whatever bread and honey we had as well. So let's see what we get for all this. Pull on. Oh, come on, let me have it all in one go, please. Why do you do this? We go, so the sell point 44,448 plus another 4, so 48, 49. Well, that'll do, won't it? Goodness me. We had about 49, maybe 50, plus what's there, plus 2,600. So give or take, so that's 3, so 53 grand. That'll do. Not going to whinge at that, regardless of whether the clothes are at top dollar or not. 53 grand for a load of pallets will do me just fine. So that stands me in good stead to have a nice bit of, to get my creative on and do a bit of construction back at home farm on my newly created little grass plot. So I'm going to crack on with that. We're going to get back over to the farm in this thing, park up, and as I say, get a bit creative, and I shall pick you all back up very shortly once I've done that. Now, you might be able to tell as well. You might be able to tell. You can tell us at the top of the screen what we're talking about. I've taken on another cultivating contract. It's only for, it's about 2,500 quid, I think, off the top of my head. In field 136, so we're going to crack on with that once I have done the construction and had a bit of played a bit of musical implements, as it were. So that's what's going to follow. So I'll catch you back there in a wee while when I've been a bit busy. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the slightly more new and improved home farm area. So, as you can see, the lime machine has gone. Well, it's not gone, it's just been relocated. So I'll show you where that is in a few moments' time. This is now just the tractor shed for now, anyway. Neatly parked. Planter has been relocated. I'll show you where that is in a minute as well. And this is now the combine, or the harvester shed, should we say. So, as you can see, harvester, forage harvester, header, and headers. That's now what this shed is for now. So I have had a bit of a sort out, a bit of an reorganizing, as it were. So everything's a bit neater. I do like it neat. They're still where they were. All this stuff's still where it was. There's nothing really changed here. But what has changed is, firstly, here. This is now a beautifully neat and tidy shed of shelves for all my pallet needs. Stocked up on a few bags of seed. We have the tote of herbicide there that we bought a while ago. That was obviously for the herbicide sprayer, that little John Deere thing. We have stocked up on a few pallets of solid fertilizer, and stocked up on a few more pallets of mineral feed. So that's that. And obviously I've removed the shelves from in here, and that's just now where the implements are and the bales for the telehandler. But here we are. This is now more shed area, I suppose. Done quite a bit of landscaping as it happens. Might still have a bit more to go. But as you can see, this is now a bit of an implement shed. We've got the mower, the leveler, the scanner, the cultivator, the plough, the fertilizer spreader, the tedder, the stone picker, and the liquid herbicide fertilizer spreader thing there. I really quite like how this sits, to be honest. It's kind of down a hill a bit. I quite like it. And round the back here, we have the lime machine. Now again, as I say, this is I still need to do a little bit of smoothing off here. But yeah, there's our lime machine now, slightly hidden out the way behind the trees. And we have another little shed here that has our planter, our weeder, and our roller in. So if we take a stand back, I'm quite happy with it, to be honest. I think it looks quite good, considering it's on hills. And I'm sure a lot of you know how frustrating it can be building onto hills. I'm quite happy with the way it's sat, the way it's gone. It's all right, I think. I've still got to do a bit of. I've got to sort all the auto drive network out. I'm gonna have a bit of a rethink as to what's going on here. I may well change a little bit the way these lanes are fed into each other. I may well have just a bit more of a what's the word? I can't think. A creative spark, should we say? I may well have a bit more of a think about what's going on here. But aside from that, yeah, I quite like it. And I thought I'd go for a blue shed this time, for some reason, because it's £2 cheaper than a green one, and £4 cheaper than a red one. But yeah, let me know what you think. We could all do with a bit more storage, couldn't we? So yeah, quite happy with the way this sits. Right, anyway, so what's next? After all that, I think it is, we need to get crack on with the contract, don't we? We've got the cultivating contract in field 136. So I need to go and jump in the Fent, pick up the cultivator, and make our way over there, and get cracking, because that's it's not much. It's only a couple of grand, but every penny's worth it, isn't it? So we'll jump in the Fent, we'll pick up the cultivator, and I shall see you round there very shortly. Right, this is the field that we need to cultivate. There we are, lovely stuff. Right, so as per usual, you know me, I'm going to stick this into a bit of a cinematic, I feel. Crack on with this, earn ourselves a couple of grand, and I shall see you all in a wee while when job is done. Well, that was nice and easy. You know what, before we go anywhere, let's turn this contract in. Where are we? £2,230. Lovely stuff. So we're now sat at a half reasonable 38,751. We've not done bad though for the episode. Been busy earning today, haven't we, pretty much? We've done a harvesting contract for pretty decent money. And we've just got a couple of grand back from that one, which was even easier money. Sold a load of pallets, spent a load of money on some new buildings, but that's all good. It's all for the farm. So, I think I'm going to call time for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. I feel it's been a good one. We've got a lot done, not necessarily on our own land, but most of that's sorted now. We've just got to wait for March, April time next year before we can cultivate under the oilseed radish and get some soybeans, sunflowers and corn drilled into the ground. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I do hope you have enjoyed today's episode and found it a little bit of fun and a bit interesting. As always, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate your time watching the video. If you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already, and joining the channel, giving the video a like if you can, if you wouldn't mind, if you have liked it, of course. And as always, there is a load of links in the video description below with my promo code, as I am a Giants partner. If any of you are in the market for the full game itself, the DLCs, add-ons, season passes, whatnot, and you fancy helping out a content creator at the same time, I would, as always, be massively appreciative. So, thanks again, everyone. I'm wishing you a very, very happy new year and a happy and healthy, prosperous 2024. And I shall see you in the next episode.